Alright, we got another fly here for you today. This one here is called the Prince Kohler. Just a quick story before we get started here, I'll just tell you what we're using. This is a silver tungsten. This is a size 14 hook and a 7/64 or a 3.0 millimeter tungsten bead. I'm going to use olive thread for this. Alright, so this fly came about, you know, me and Gilbert, we're always kind of looking for new variation. You know, the normal hare's ears, Prince Nymphs, they're always, you know, some of them are kind of boring, you know, when you're tying a lot. You're always looking for new materials, new variations to use. So this one came about last year, just trying out some new materials, and I'm not going to lie, this fly did some damage. Ripped lips, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to use black tails for the biot, or black biots for the tail. I'm going to tie those in. Just right here at the back. Hey, well, got to get these lined up a little better. So, you know, we don't like to brag. That's bad. But if you back it up, it's not called bragging. So we'll just tie those in. Sometimes if you have to kind of readjust after you get them tied in a little bit, that's fine. So I'm just gonna tie those up the length. These biots can kind of spin on you, so make sure you I use my other finger here sometimes to kind of get up that shank. I'm gonna trim those off. Alright, I'm going to use a silver wire, so I'm kind of sticking with the silver theme of this fly. I'm going to use a small on this. I like the small silver wire. I'm just going to tie that on here, on the near side of me here. Go down to where the tails are tied in. Alright, go back up. A couple things. We're going to use peacock curl for the abdomen of this fly. I know this is looking like a normal Prince Nymph, but just bear with me here. So I'm just going to use 2 pieces of this to kind of help keep my body thin, get them lined up. And it's a good trick, sometimes if you spin your thread in a counterclockwise direction, it'll kind of help so you can control it, so you don't have to kind of do your pinch wrap so much. Alright, so I'm going to take that back down in right where I tied in my wire. Wow, got a little in there. Didn't want that. Should have. Alright, put that if you have a little excess there. So I'm going to tie it in. I want to build just a slight taper with this thread. Alright, so I'm going to take this. I'm going to wrap the peacock. And as you guys know, peacock is it's not very durable. It breaks easy, so I'm going to go up about 3/4 of the way right there. So I'm going to take 2 wraps to kind of, hitting the camera there, to tie it off. I'm going to cut this stuff off. And as we've done in our tungsten case caddis, or even the brassy, you can kind of just go back over this with the thread wraps. Really makes this fly just super durable. And then with this wire that I'm going to rivet with here, it's not gonna come apart. I've yet to have the peacock come apart on this fly. So I'm gonna do a few wraps, about 3 or 4 wraps, tie it off. Alright, I'm gonna use some clippers here, clip that off. Alright, now for a little bit of a spin on this fly, this is where it kind of comes in. I'm gonna use some ice dubbing, which I really love. I'm gonna use some peacock and some olive, and I kind of just mix it. There's no formula, I just kind of start grabbing it and mixing it until it looks good. So I don't know, there's not a real recipe for it, but I just mix some peacock and olive. If you can kind of see in that light, it really just, you know, it's not the really dark stuff like the peacock, and gives it that olive. So that olive color, which we like. So I'm just going to kind of wrap over that, you know, kind of make it like a bushy thorax there. Alright, get your thread back in there. And it's the same as, of course, it's a Prince Nymph variant, so we're going to use just some normal white biots for the wings on this. So I'm going to just line those up. You're going to want those about the length of the body. That's a little too big, so we'll kind of shorten those up. Put those on there. I like to do a little spin, like I said, spin it counterclockwise. It kind of helps your thread just kind of lay right back over the top. See, and then you can kind of put your other hand on top of those, kind of see how it lays after you hold that. Pull the biots back, tie a few wraps in the front. That just solidifies those biots. They're not going to go anywhere. Cut that off. And again, I like to always finish a little bit, just a little pinch of dubbing to go on top, so it kind of helps hide those biots, tie them down, or help them even secure them down in there. Alright, so almost the same. We use black biots and the silver bead and the silver wire, and then this ice dubbing, this mixture of ice dubbing. That's kind of the difference in this dominant fly. I'm going to do a hand whip finish. Of course, we'll do 2 of them. So, alright, so get creative with your tying, try out some new materials, and you might even, maybe, I don't know, come up with something just as good as this.